So today, the Precinct 1 Constable's Office executed on an arrest warrant for Joseph Madison Johnson, who has been charged with online solicitation of a child. Mr. Johnson is the head baseball coach, history teacher at Caney High School in Conroe ISD, Montgomery County. He was arrested in the parking lot of the school and took him in without any issue whatsoever. The arrest came after a 5-month investigation by my office, and it involved the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Why we were able to go to Montgomery County, we're a Harris County agency, is that there is a task force, and Montgomery County District Attorney's Office is part of that task force. So this case led to Montgomery County because a lot of the solicitation happened while on school grounds. The Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's Office and the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office, again, are affiliates of the Metro Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. This suspect made online solicitation of what he thought was a 14 and 16-year-old female. He communicated with them over an extended period of time. He sent some explicit pictures of himself, and they did attempt to set up a meeting location in the Woodlands. It didn't come to fruition. Otherwise, he would have been charged on online solicitation that involved the meeting of a minor. It's a very disturbing case. We're talking about an individual who is charged with taking care of kids every single day in a classroom environment, on a baseball field. And this just betrays the trust of all those children. And I can just tell you I'm happy. It took 5 months to do this investigation, but I am very pleased that this arrest happened. And now we are seeking to find if there are any more victims. We believe very strongly that there are more victims that we need to talk to based on his assertions during our interview. So we would like the public, and please put his picture out so that we can find other victims. This agency's always been about victim advocacy, and we're going to continue to be that. And somebody that's targeting 14 and 16-year-old children, we need off the street. And so I'm so proud of the work our officers did in this undercover capacity. They did a great job, and we were able to get this person off of the streets. He's going to be booked in the Montgomery County Jail, and the case is pending in Montgomery County. There is another component, and we are working with our local district attorney's office, Kim Ogg's office, and potentially filing additional charges in Harris County. We're working very closely with our district attorney's office to file additional charges because some of the online solicitation took place in Harris County at this at Mr. Johnson's residence. So we're going to be working diligently on that. And again, any victims, please contact our office. We would love to hear from you. Or you can call the Internet Crimes Against Children hotline at 713-222-4929. Please come forward. We want to be helpful to you and treat you as the victim that you are. And at that point, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Just to clarify, so you were saying other victims. Is there a victim that you've identified right now other than the undercover officer?
No, it's just the undercover officers, but I can tell you that there are victims, and based on our conversation with them. So that's why we're really having this press conference, is to try to find those victims. But good point of clarification. Can you tell us
by which medium he first reached out to this, supposed 16 and 14-year-old? Like, what parents need to know about how easy it was for him to get a hold of teenagers?
It's a very good question, and we message this constantly. Please don't allow your children to sit up in their rooms at 10 o'clock at night and throughout the night and allow your children to surf the internet, because these predators are out there. And so you've got to have a mechanism. I myself believe that children that are teenagers, you should track who they're communicating with, what platforms they're going to, who they're texting with. Turn off your internet in your home at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever your rules are in your home. Don't just think that your child's sitting up in the bedroom and there aren't predators that are out there actively searching who to start communicating with. And most of the children that become a target are those that are kind of withdrawn from their family. They are, not real socially active, and the predator becomes that social activity for them. So you've got to be engaged. Parents, you've got to be engaged in your kids' social media platforms at all times. I'm a huge, huge believer of that, and there are a lot of platforms. This was just done via social media and text messaging, where he exchanged, a lot of photos of himself and of other kids, and was trying to get him to send pictures of what he thought was a 14, 16-year-old child, female.
He sent the 14 and 16, the undercover officers, pictures of other children?
He attempted to he sent pictures of himself, and then he was trying to get pictures of them sent to him.
Was he posing as a 14, 16-year-old, or he was?
No, he never really gave his age. He didn't. A lot of it took place at the school, and he attempted to set up a meeting place in the Woodlands, and stated that they could go back to the school to have some private time. So thankfully that didn't happen. Thankfully there were officers on the other side of this phone.
So he worked for the school district for a long time?
I don't think it was a long time. I think he started there. Do we know that?
I thought it was
2020. That's, yeah.
I thought it was 2012 was the prior school.
That was Alden. Yes, he's worked at he's worked at multiple campuses, school environments. Yes,
So
he
my
has.
question is, have you checked in with these school districts to find out if he's ever been investigated before?
We made contact after his arrest with the current school that he's in, and gave them all the information, and we're working collaboratively with that school district and that principal and the teachers that are there to see if there was any problems there that we can become aware of. We couldn't say anything prior to us actually arresting him because we didn't know who he was friendly with at the school. So based on that, we are now working very closely with them, and we'll check in at some of the other schools to see if there were any outcries or anything, or any kids. A lot of times kids are so scared to come forward, and we've got to break that barrier as well, because who's going to protect kids? And it's sadly, in a school environment like this, that's their protector. I mean, this guy was the head baseball coach, and a teacher in the classroom. So we want to hear from victims. We want to hear from people that may have encountered him in any of the school environments. So we will be reaching out to Aldine for sure, and any other school district that he worked at.
Because isn't it true in your experience, you know about these things, a predator usually has a pattern of behavior where they do this over the course of many years?
They do, and and maybe they've gotten away with it over the years, and they just become more emboldened. And so we want to hear from those victims. We want to hear from any school district that may have had a case or a report. Maybe it was unfounded. Maybe it wasn't properly investigated. I don't know. But we want to hear from them, because we will investigate this and tag it on to the current case that we're working.
Have you searched his cell phone?
We will be doing all that, yeah. We have,
Find anything?
it's too early. I mean, we just arrested him today and got possession of his cell phones. Yeah.
So what details about him? Is he married, children?
He is married to his high school sweetheart, no children.
Are they from
Yeah.
here?
He's from Harris County, yes, ma'am. He lives in Harris County, I'll put it that way, and works in Montgomery County.
And how old is he?
He is 30 years of age, 30 years old.
Can you talk to us about the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and how important that is?
The Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force is a task force of multiple agencies for multiple jurisdictions, including Montgomery County, the Harris County District Attorney's Office, Houston Police Department, Sheriff's Office. A lot of different agencies are members of it, and they work collaboratively, and actually all over the United States. I know we've personally have sent cases to other jurisdictions in Seattle, Washington, where we get a tip here and we find somebody that is soliciting people in other states. So it's a collaboration of law enforcement, that is solely targeting people that are trying to prey on young children. And so, this is a warning to all the criminals that are online predators that are out there. You never know who you're going to be talking to on the other end of that phone. And it quite possibly could be investigators or detectives that are working on that. So Internet Crimes Task Force was created to deal with this problem exclusively. That's their sole mission, is to identify and arrest people and file charges on people that are out there actively looking to engage in this inappropriate behavior and criminal behavior.
You believe by making the arrest today, you saved other children's lives?
I pray to God that we did, and that's why we do it, because our goal is not only to arrest the person that did it, but we want to prevent that activity from happening in the future. So once we work on this and make a case, and these cases are pretty evidence intensive. This is not just, these are all very, very evidence intensive cases. And, with the texting and, all the different things that go on. But yeah, our goal in law enforcement is always to save somebody from being victimized by a crime. Always. And as long as I'm here, and I know my other partners that are out there that lead agencies, that's what we're all about, is to prevent the crime from happening, hopefully, and then prevent it from ever happening again. And I think we're going to get that done with this guy. And that's why, please call if you've had any interaction with them or you've been victimized by him. We want to hear from you. We've got very skilled people here that know how to interview people and do it in a very, very meaningful way. We want to treat you as the victim that you are.
Can you explain to us what the predator's tactics were? What did he say to the teenagers on the other end of the phone? What was his characteristic like to keep them drawn in, to lure them into a relationship?
I don't want to go into the craft of what they do, because I certainly don't want to give our criminals that are actively out there doing that a basis to try to work around how we do it. I can just tell you that their persona was a 14 and 16-year-old female, and he actively engaged in everything you need to make online solicitation of a minor. And ultimately, I think he would have tried to meet what he thought was a 16-year-old female. And I'm just glad it didn't happen. I'm glad that there wasn't a real 16-year-old child that was interested in meeting up with him, because you just never know what's going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. So we do know what's going to happen.
We have time for one more question.
Was that done through text messages or through special social?
Text messaging. It started out on social media, and then it morphs into text messaging.
So, do you know what is specific social media so parents know?
No, I just, I can't be firm enough. Parents need to be engaged in their kids' social media platforms. You cannot allow a child just to have access to a phone and just hope things are going to work out for the best. Be active. Be an active parent in your child's social media platforms. It might save their life. There's a lot of human trafficking people, predators that are out there looking for exactly this, to kidnap kids. And so, my message has always been the same as it comes from other agencies. Be involved in your children's social media platforms. There are software applications that you can put on your child's phone, whether they know it or don't know it, that you'll get to see everything that they are doing via with text messages, with where they go and surf the internet. Be involved. Be an involved parent. That's my message.
What's the name of those apps?
I don't have them all, but I can get them to you. My folks have them. Sure, that would be a great thing to put out, is what apps to put on your child's phones or computers, laptops, both. Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. God bless you.